I'm Daniel Golding from Area Pest Control. Welcome to episode 2 of our mini-series on food hygiene ratings. If you're an owner or manager of a food outlet that is given a food hygiene rating, this mini-series is going to be extremely useful not only to you but also your staff in helping to achieve a 5-star food rating. During this mini-series we're going to be joined by special guests brought in to guide you through what is needed to achieve a 5-star food rating. Coming up in this episode, we'll be looking at the Food Standards Agency folder section by section. So this is safer food, better business for caterers. If you're producing food, selling food to the public, you should have a folder like this in your kitchen. We're going to go through all the sections. So we've got cross-contamination, cleaning, chilling of food, cooking, management and the diary section. Right, let me introduce you to our special guest, food auditor Ethan Gabriel from Gabriel Consultants. Ethan, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Can you explain your job title and what it is that you do when you visit a food premises?
Yeah, okay. So my job title is Food Hygiene Retail Auditor, and I compliant with the Food Hygiene Rating Scheme. So I give restaurants 0 to 5 when I visit them.
Right, okay.
And the things that we look at for is food hygiene in the storage, how they're handling their food, and we also look at the structure, whether the walls are damaged, the floors are cracked, ceilings also, and the last thing that we look at is confidence in management. Right. So we're making sure that due diligence is up to standard and there's no gaps and everything is spot on and maintained.
Okay, and that's all covered in the Food Safety Better Business folder?
Yeah, that's
right. Okay, so it's good. So we're going to go through that today, and you're going to help our viewers understand why it's so important to fill out the forms in this and follow this to the letter. Yeah. And if they do that, and everything else complies, so like you say, the walls haven't got holes in it, the floors aren't damaged and cracked, and that's for cleanliness, is it? So food doesn't get underneath. And
yeah, that's correct.
Okay, yeah. So if they do all of that, that's up to scratch, and they follow the folder, the likelihood that they'll achieve a 5 is actually quite high.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Brilliant. So the first section is cross-contamination. As we go through the book, when we get to a different section, you'll get a pop-up coming up on the screen, so you know what section we're on. So I'm just going to read straight from the folder here. So this is the Food Standard Agency's words, not mine. Cross-contamination is one of the most common causes of food poisoning. It happens when harmful bacteria are spread into food and other equipment, surfaces, via hands or equipment. So these harmful bacteria often come from raw meat, poultry, fish, eggs and unwashed vegetables. So it's especially important to handle these foods carefully. And then it lists other sources of bacteria, and this is what we're going to go through. So the first one is staph. So can you explain how staph introduce bacteria?
Yeah, okay, so nothing from outside, so it's important for them not to come in their work clothes. Right. Always have uniform, so you can get changed into the toilets. Right,
okay, so they're coming in from the outside and they're putting something over their clothes, or they've got their chef whites just going straight on.
That's right.
Okay, so they're not bringing any contaminants from the outside into the clean areas.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Making sure it's clean. At the end of the day, you want to look professional. Clean and smart is the way forward. Also with jewellery, you shouldn't have no jewellery present, because that's another risk of cross-contamination.
Right, okay, so this is why they have the blue stickers over their earrings and rings sometimes. Yeah. Blue plasters. Okay, because if an earring was to fall into some food, you've got cross-contamination there. Yeah. Right, okay. Alright, so that's staph, and then pests. Pests is the next one. I can imagine cross-contamination from pests is huge, but vermin generally comes from outside. Yeah. So if we're talking rodents, a rodent is going to come in, it's been in the bin store perhaps, it's come from the drains, and then you're bringing all them pathogens, disease, straight into the kitchen, and then possibly on the work surfaces. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, in your experience, how's best to combat that, to stop the cross-contamination of pests? Yeah,
okay, so first of all, it's best to contact a reputable supplier of pest control, making sure that it's effective, it's working, it's actually pest proofing control. Right. And you want it to be a good standard, So the pest control contractor doesn't have to come back every so often.
Right. Okay.
Making sure it's in the right areas of the kitchen, outside areas also.
Yeah.
Food preparation areas, the dry stores, the whole building of the kitchen.
I mean, obviously, being a pest control company, this is something we're hot on. And over the years, we're being reduced on what poisons we can use, how long we can leave them down. So proofing to stop pests coming in the first place is obviously a lot better than getting the pests in and then trying to cure that issue. So we find that during our surveys, if there's any holes, gaps under doors, that's an issue, isn't it? So that's quite often a gap under the back door and rodents can just walk underneath. So we would advise you on how to proof that or offer the service for you. There's all sorts of ways they get in through pipes. Yeah, holes around pipes.
That's correct.
And then obviously you can even get pests brought in by your suppliers. We had a case where one of our restaurants changed where they got their food packaging from to their takeaway boxes.
Right.
And the supplier they were getting them from had cockroaches. So then the boxes come in and the cockroaches come out of the boxes and now they're in the kitchen. So I mean that was something we had to sort out. Okay, so that covers pests and then equipment as well. What do I mean by equipment?
Okay, so separation of equipment, so raw chopping boards, having the correct storage, so you'd have the raw cooked food and then you have the separations, you have the vegetables and then ready to eat, so salads, which is green.
Okay.
Making sure that so in the raw preparation area, you'll have everything red, that's marked.
Right.
So knowing that it's a raw preparation area, so not to contaminate.
Okay, so no cross-contamination. So you can't use a chopping board from a raw area and take that and then cut salad on it. Because obviously you've just cut raw chicken on it or whatever it might be. Okay, right. So that's a big one as well. Because then you're leading into food poisoning now.
That's right.
Okay.
So very vital to get that correct.
Absolutely. And then cloths. That's I mean, so what we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they listed 5 key points of cross contamination. So these are obviously the big ones. Obviously there's other ways, but these are the ones they're focusing on. So cloths.
Yeah. So with cloths, you can reuse cloths. You can wash them. Just making sure their duties for different jobs in the kitchen. So for example, toilets. You wouldn't use that for the kitchen, you use it just for toilets. Have different colour coded cloths for different jobs. Okay. And that'll make it a lot more easier to manage.
Okay, so you don't want the chef taking his cloth that he's using to wipe his hands after cooking into the toilet and then doing the same there and bringing it back. Right, okay. Yeah. Okay, so each cloth, all disposable.
Disposable.
Yeah, disposable blue roll. And then that can just be used and disposed of, so you've cut the contamination out straight away there.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last one, I don't understand this one, Ethan. You're going to have to explain it to me. Yeah. Dirt or soil. Yeah. I mean, what is that? What's the cross contamination there, and how does it come into a restaurant?
Yeah. Okay. So it can come to the restaurant by transport. So in terms of food, we're looking at raw vegetables, fruits. Okay. So
the dirt or soil is actually come from the ground when the carrot, for example, is being pulled out. Yeah. Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. So the bacteria for that is E. coli 0157.
Okay.
So we all have E. coli in us. Some good, some bad. The bad is food poisoning.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So it's making sure that we wash the vegetables and salad twice.
Okay.
Okay. So making sure that it's free from contamination. Making sure that your staff are competent and trained. That's
something I wouldn't have thought about. So there's E. coli in the soil.
That's right.
So it must be washed off before it comes.
That's right.
Wow, okay, right. Brilliant. Well, I hope that's helped you on cross-contamination. So we're going to come to our next section now, which is cleaning. So effective cleaning is essential to get rid of harmful bacteria and allergens to stop them spreading to food. Okay, so in this section they highlight hand washing, clean effectively, how to clean and clear as you go, and developing a cleaning schedule. What's your take on this? How when you go to site, what are you looking for when it comes to cleaning?
Okay, so the first thing when I go to the site is I wash my hands, the 6 steps that I use, and I also look for if staff are also washing their hands before preparing raw food, or whether they come from the toilet, whether they come outside, in the bins.
So every action. So they've cleaned up. They've taken a bin bag to the bin, put it in the bin. You want them washing their hands when they come back.
That's right.
And I see on the first page it's got the 6 steps, so that's in your pack as well. So if you don't know how to do that, you can refer to the pack. Right. Okay. So and washing your hands just before every action. When you stop to task, you need to then wash your hands before you start another task.
That's right. That's
okay.
correct.
So that's a good thing to remember.
Definitely.
And then we've got cleaning efficiently in here. It looks like they've broken it down to high priority cleaning.
Yeah.
And managing it, why, how to do this. So I mean, this is really in depth, isn't it? I mean, we're not going to go that in depth during this video, so it's good to have this pack with you. So yeah, and clean and clear as you go. Why is this important here?
Yeah, for me, the big one is clean as you go.
Right.
So okay, I do get sometimes there'll be a busy lunch service. So at times I'm lenient, but afterwards you want to make sure that's maintained. The floors, the work surfaces, make sure they're sanitized properly. For me, that's a big thing, and that's what I like to see.
Right.
Organising a deep clean weekly basis.
Okay.
So just keeping on top of the kitchen.
Right.
And make sure it's clean throughout.
I mean, I'd like to echo your thoughts on that as well and agree with you, because quite often we'll go to site and we'll find out it hasn't been cleaned. Like you say, perhaps they have had a busy lunchtime.
That's right.
But then you'll find bits of food on the floor, and that'll often get kicked back under the fridges, and they can't see it, appreciate. Yeah. So they need to come out weekly and a deep clean, because all this food can attribute to pests. It can attract pests. Yeah. It gives food for pests. So you want to eliminate that, and that'll help eliminate the pests as well.
That's right. Definitely.
Right, so this cleaning schedule. So this is what you're talking about with the weekly deep cleans, and then there should be like a rota or a schedule, should there? Right, okay.
Yeah, that's right. So the good thing about cleaning schedules, you can schedule your staff, what day to clean, what you clean in. Are you cleaning ice machines?
Right.
Are you cleaning the dishwasher, the internals, the hand wash basins, the taps, the floors? You know, there's a lot of different areas that you should be cleaning around the kitchen.
So they all need to be scheduled in.
That's right.
Okay, and that's a big tick as well. If you come in and you see a schedule on the wall,
that's right.
And then people are adhering to that, you know they're taking it seriously.
That's right. That's correct.
Okay. Right, so that leads us on to chilling, food chilling. So chilling the food properly helps to stop harmful bacteria from growing. So this is a big one as well, because you're preventing bacteria here. Yeah. So is there so once something's cooked, should it then be chilled for storage?
Yeah, that's right. For high risk food, so poultry, pork, beef.
Right.
You should chill that instantly. Don't put it straight into the fridge. Make sure it's laid out on the work surfaces where there's nothing else beside it. Cut it up into portions. Also, that would help.
Right, it will help it cool down quicker.
Cool down properly.
Okay.
And if you are in, like, for example, a cafe, have a dummy portion out as well, just to show what the food looks like.
Oh, okay.
Have at the right temperature, so 8 degrees, no more than 8 degrees.
Right.
Always note it down in the documents as well. That helps.
So they literally should be taking temperature with the probe.
That's
and then that will come onto that in the diary.
Yeah.
So is that in the diary when you're taking temperatures?
That's
of fridges and stuff? Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the main reason to chill the food down is to stop the spread of bacteria and to stop the breeding of bacteria.
That's correct.
Okay. So that's an important one. Right, so this takes us on to cooking. So the cooking section is essential to cook food properly to kill any harmful bacteria. If it is not cooked properly, it might not be safe for your customers to eat. Okay, so that's obviously an important one. Yeah. So it says here it's very important to handle ready-to-eat food carefully to protect it from harmful bacteria. This is because it will not be cooked or reheated before serving it. Okay, so this is So this bit is specifically ready-to-eat food. It's been cooked. It's ready to go. So is minimal handling with that before it goes to the customer?
Yeah, of course. You want to take the right steps for that. So you want the temperature to be right. So the temperature is above 75 degrees.
Okay, so this is when they might store it in a hot tray or something, or on a hot hot surface.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So yeah, you quite often see this. So like it's in the supermarkets, for example, they have a hot food counter where they do the chicken and they store that. So that must be at a correct temperature.
Yeah, that's right. And that's a critical control point there. You know, you want to have the right temperature, have the right lighting above it. Also, make sure it's spread out evenly. The right portions is there.
Okay.
As well, so.
And this is something during your role that
Yeah.
you would check this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you do temperature checks as well to make sure it's at the right level.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a big section. This is, so it's worth looking through this at your own leisure. We're just going to touch on the sections now and get Ethan's take on them. So we're going to go to management. And I know, speaking to you beforehand, this is a key one for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is one to listen up to. So managing your business effectively is vital for food safety, and I'm going to ask Ethan now to explain why it's so vital for the food safety.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, you want your due diligence to be spot on. When I mean spot on, I mean opening and closing checks.
Okay.
You want that to be first. Okay, who's assigned to that? Is it the manager? Is it the supervisor? So when you look at opening checks, you want to look at all the gas and electric on. Is the water working? Is it hot?
Okay.
You know, have staff come in. You know, are they clean, uniform?
So this is the beginning of the day, before you've started service, before you've opened the store.
That's right.
So you're checking in case there's an electric issue, in case there's a gas issue.
Yeah.
If you haven't got hot water, presumably you can't really trade because you can't clean your hands effectively.
That's correct.
Right. Okay. So there's a procedure for opening checks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and that's stated in here as well, opening and closing checks. Yeah. Okay. So just things like no food is left out.
That's right.
Because
that's correct.
Because again, it would need to be chilled and left at the correct temperature. Okay, and we've got some, and this is some extra checks, and this comes back to your deep cleaning, maintenance, dishwasher temperature probe, and your pest control check as well. So as you've mentioned, looking for signs of damage to walls, doors, etc. that could let pests in.
Definitely.
Right. Okay.
Definitely.
So I mean, this is an invaluable folder, isn't it, to go through?
It is. It's really good. But one thing I want to say about this folder, it is different than, for example, manufacturers. The takeaways.
Yeah.
You know, this is just for caterers.
This is just for caterers.
So every establishment will have their own book.
Right.
You know, that's detailed to them.
Yeah. But this book here, it would be in restaurant kitchens.
It would be.
Yeah. I mean, we see this on a daily basis with a lot of our clients. They have this and they do the checks. And
that's right.
Yeah. So that's a good one to go through.
But there's one thing with the checks also, you want to make sure that it is actually proven, completed.
Okay, so it's not just happening in real time.
Yeah, not just ticking off
right,
actually the same temperatures.
Right,
you want to see a variety of temperatures. For example, so if it hasn't been done correctly, you want to say why has it been done correctly.
Okay.
Is it the wrong temperatures?
Right. Okay. So so they should be marking down the wrong temperatures.
That's right.
But then writing down why it was the wrong temperature and how they've rectified it.
That's right.
Okay, because you have things malfunction presumably.
Yeah, of
the
course.
Machine might break, but as long as you've logged that and then rectified it, you're okay. You're happy with that because you've seen the process.
You've seen the process. It's all part of due diligence.
Right. Okay. Okay. So the last part of the diary, last part of the folder is the diary. And that covers a little bit more than the diary, doesn't it? We've got staff training in here. Yeah. Training records, supplier lists.
That's it. Okay.
And then when it comes to the actual diary, that is your opening check. So this is where you would look to see that they have been carried out.
That's
okay.
Right.
And then, like you say, any problems or changes, what did you do?
Yeah.
So it's all about being aware of what's happened and
right.
how you've rectified it.
Yeah.
Right. Correct. Okay. So that's a section that you would look in.
Yeah, would look at that as well. Definitely. Are staff competent? You know, are they trained?
So that will be from the records.
So
these should all be filled out.
This should be filled out. Yeah.
Right.
That's
okay.
Correct. Are there any refreshers courses coming up? Is it yearly basis? Is it 6 months? Just making sure that staff are aware.
Right. Okay.
You know?
I mean, it's worth mentioning at this point because I know people do run out of the diary sheets, don't they, from time to time, which is fair enough. But what we do as a company, Area Pest Control, is all of our technicians carry spare diary sheets with them as a pack. So if we come to service one of your restaurants and you don't have one of these folders for whatever reason, our technicians also have a folder, so we'll supply you with that. And if you run out of diary sheets while we're on site, we're more than happy to give you some. Well, I mean, we've gone through that. We've touched on quite a bit there, and it's been great that you've come in and spent your time with us. So, Ethan, I'd like to thank you for coming in today, and hopefully you'll come back and do some more episodes with us.
Yeah,
that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to say a massive thank you to Ethan Gabriel from Gabriel Consultants for being here today, and I hope it's inspired you to go through your pack and raise your game to get up a higher food rating or maintain your current one. I mean, these are really important, these food hygiene ratings. Personally, I look through them if I'm going to go to a cafe, a restaurant, whatever it might be. If you're somewhere between 1 and 3, it's quite low, and the consumer's going to be asking himself why. I think if you're up at a 4 or a 5, that's really good. I feel confident to come and eat in your restaurant. So thanks for watching the episode today. Please come back for episode 3. We'll put the link in the description when it's uploaded. And hit the subscribe button so you don't miss it. Well, thanks very much for viewing. Bye now.